Hey everyone, and welcome to this episode of, welcome to this episode. My name is Hansen and I'm your holistic sleep expert and coach. And today we are going to talk about Candida. And I've just had a client and he just reported that a doctor of his said that, well, Candida is everywhere. It's never a problem and don't take it seriously. And so I really thought it was a good topic to talk about today because I can see huge differences among people who have a Candida problem and those who don't. So first off, what is Candida? So Candida is a strain of yeast that you have in your body, and in certain amounts it's totally normal, it's what we're supposed to have, but it has a tendency to take over, especially if you have an immune system that's already compromised. And that brings along all sorts of problems. So let's go into that first. Also, how do you know that you have Candida? So first off, if you have a really bad case of Candida, next to the side effects that are headaches, fatigue, brain fog, loss of weight, allergies, fungi in your nails, and a white coating on your tongue, vaginal infections, vaginal yeast infections. Next to that, you can get it tested with an IgG test, so in your blood, or a stool test. And what I do is usually I do it in a stool test where it's just included. So that is one reason why to do it. You can also, if you have a suspicion, you can do a spit test, which is not quite as reliable, but you can do it at home. Just when you take some water and you have the line where your water breaks with the oxygen and you spit in there, and depending on your spit going down to the bottom, if it has like these long thready kind of tangles, then there is suspicion that you might have Candida as well, and then it might be a good idea to invest in getting a Candida test done. So what does this have to do with sleep? So I took a couple of notes. So I'll be looking at my screen down here a little bit more often today. But the reason why it's important to get checked out for Candida is not just because of your sleep, and I'm going to get into that for a minute, but Candida can actually be produced by your body to be a protector against heavy metals like mercury, for example. So it's always good to have yourself checked out anyway, because there can be a reason for Candida to be there, because it actually wants to do you some good. Now the problem though is that it is an alive organism and it's active at night. Now, because it's not supposed to be there in certain amounts, or only supposed to be there in certain amounts, but not too much of it, it is going to create inflammation because your body wants to get rid of the excess. And inflammation is raising cortisol levels, and cortisol is a stimulant. It's something that is going to wake you up, or if you wake up in between sleep cycles, is going to keep you awake. So it's not something that we want to have. We want to have high cortisol levels during the day, but we definitely don't want to have them at nighttime. Because another side effect of cortisol is that it's going to lower your melatonin. So that is why it is going to affect your sleep. The other thing that it's doing is that it can get out of control really, really, really quickly. And what it does is it's going to take away oxygen in your intestine, and it's replacing it with fermentation, which is actually a really, really great food source for cancer. So if you're prone to that, or if you just want to make sure that you're never even going to support your body creating it, then really try not to have Candida or to get rid of it. And as a friend of mine, Krista Orecchio, who I interviewed for my summit last year, said, is actually worse than having nail polish remover in your stomach. And I found that metaphor to be really a huge wake-up call. So How do you get rid of it? Well, first of all, the first step you should take is that you should avoid sugar, because Candida loves sugar. It thrives on it. It's going to take over when it gets sugar. Now, unfortunately, one of the side effects of Candida is that you will have cravings for sugar and carbs, like sugary carbs like pasta, white rice, and white bread and baguette. So it can be difficult to cut out sugar, and I always recommend it to do it at like a detox, really do a severage, doing it step by step. So the way that you replace is that you use 40% of your meals should be a high quality animal protein, 40% should be non-starchy vegetables, and then you're adding 20% of good fats and complex carbohydrates. So that's the way that you should ideally have your food distributed while you are on a Candida diet. And I'm going to set this up in a minute, but I'm going to give you access to a Candida diet sheet if you comment on my Facebook Live below. So just leave a comment and I will send that. That will be sent to you straight away once I'm done with this live. So now, what else can you do? So you have your diet. You can also include spices like seal and cinnamon that will help to balance your blood sugar levels. And cholesterol, lower bad cholesterol. Turmeric is a great one, and ginger are great anti-inflammatories as well. Now, once you've done your diet, there's a couple of supplements that I also suggest. So the first thing that I always start with is a biofilm disruptor. Biofilm is basically protecting Candida. It's like this shield that is just protecting it from even antibiotics. And so if you have a biofilm disruptor first, you're basically setting it free that it can be detected by things that might not be as aggressive as antibiotics. Personally, I would never use antibiotics with Candida. But everything that you do is going to be more efficient. You can use a biofilm disruptor by Kirkman. There's also one by Biobotanical Research, which is really, really good. And because that is going to set free, maybe not only Candida, but probably also bad bacteria or parasites, using bentonite clay to catch that is a very good idea so that you reduce your detox effects. And then you want to go in with supplements to get rid of your Candida specifically. Now, I use a brand called Now, and their supplement is called Candida Now. And I use it every 6 months anyway. I do a cure because Candida I'm prone to it. So I just use that every 6 months and I do a cure. So that would be something that you could use. And things that should be in there is something like oregano, pau d'arco, and actually next I'm going to give you the exact protocol that I was suggested to do. So you use your biofilm disruptor first, use that for 2 weeks. Then you're going to do a 16-day antifungal rotation. So you use, the reason why we do this rotation is because we don't want Candida to get used to it. So we change it every 4 days. So have 2 of them and then you change them every 4 days. First should be one that is olive leaf extract, which is great for the immune system, but also great to get rid of Candida. The second one should be pau d'arco tea. So PAUD''arco. So it's a rind. Pau d'arco tea is great. That works better in tea than in capsules. Then, and it's not only great antibacterial, but it's also an antiviral. And then 4 days later, you add in oregano oil, which is the most potent antibiotic, antiviral that we have in nature. So that would be your rotation. And after that, you can use caprylic acid or andicanoic acid or grapefruit seed extract for the next 4 days. So you have your 4 chunks that you're going to use. Now, this is a process that should be repeated at least twice. So 4 at least twice, and 32 days in total. After this, you can continue with a great probiotic just to make sure that Candida is in check and you can add a lot more fiber to your diet as well. But that would be how I would suggest you do this. And I'm going to do a little cheat sheet with the recommendations in there that you can download as well. So that's my information on Candida. If you want to get a cheat sheet for a diet that is Candida not friendly, let's put it that way, or that is recommended to use when you have Candida, then just leave a comment on this Facebook Live and you will be sent the sheet to your messenger chat straight away like magic. Now, if you have any further questions, just let me know. Let me just see if I have any questions. Hey, Caesar. So I'm going to send this straight out. I haven't set it up yet. I'm actually going to send it up straight after this live, but you're going to get it first straight away. So, and the protocol cheat sheet is going to be on my blog by tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. All right, that's it for me. I personally hope you'll never have Candida, but chances are you probably have. All right, I'll talk to you soon.